Hi everyone, welcome and thanks for joining us. Today we're catching up with Preyalan Pillay, chairman of the broader Hindu Community Network in PO and entrepreneur at One for All Financial Consultants. We'll be talking about recent community developments, cultural empowerment, your youth initiatives, and practical financial guidance. Let's jump right in and welcome Preyalan Pillay. How are you? How are you?
I'm well, thank you. And yourself?
Likewise. It's been, I think, a couple of months ago, right? Since we
Yeah, yeah,
last chatted,
yeah.
right?
It has been. It has been. And talking about months, don't you agree that this year just
Mhm.
flew by? Eh? Sure. It's like
That's true.
we started in January planning, and boom, we're ready at the end of the year, getting into the next, prepping for the next year now.
Yeah, that's true. And getting into all that, been a while since we last spoke. What have you been most focused on recently within the broader Hindu community network?
Okay, so yeah, we've actually had for the last couple of months we had some quite number of projects that we've been working on. Our most recent project, which was a real success, was our Diwali, which was just like 2 weeks ago. Our Diwali hamper and lunch that we gave the communities in Indonesia. Something different. So we took the hamper distribution we've been doing for a number of years. We don't only focus on Diwali. We don't just do it once a year. We try and do food hampers as often as possible, just depending on funds. But this was so amazing. I mean, the feedback that we got from the community, all the messages and people that we invited as well, from other organizations to come and be part of that lunch and hamper distribution. People were just amazed the way it flowed. Um, the thing is, please don't think I'm being funny by saying this, but,
Mhm.
with an NPO, it's public funds. And when funds coming from the public, it must be spent for the public. We
Mm,
have some organizations that actually hoard the money and spend the money on things that are actually not necessary. They
mm,
don't actually use the funds for what it's meant to be, like the real need. They don't focus on the needs of the community. And that's why most of the time our NPO, we actually laugh and we joke about it. We're always broke because, as much as yes, we are receiving some funds, but it's always used because funds that come in, we spend. We don't hold back. I mean, we have emergency cases now and again. For example, last week, uh, one of the organizations we were close to it, Monkey Sanctuary in Kempton Park, they ran low on food. They catered to over 150 abandoned monkeys,
mm.
and they ran low on food. And the first organization they look to before they go out is me, and the broader Indo community. Like they messaged, "Can you help? We like down to our last 1 kg of the maize meal. Can you help us in any way? We need, some protein as well." And immediately it was done. So yeah, those are some of the projects we've been focused on, and helping wherever we can. But like I said, getting back to the Diwali, it was the Diwali lunch, giving back to the community. We entertain, we had live entertainment for them, hosted by what's it, Shankar Productions, if I'm not mistaken, and Edward Reddy. And it was just a beautiful afternoon. People danced, people ate. We gave them the best of, like how you'd go to a proper function and have the best of foods and desserts, and we really spoiled them. So that was one of our projects that just actually lifted our broader Hindu community network. It lifted the name, and it's something we want to be able to do quite often as well.
Uh, how has the role and visibility of the Hindu community evolved in South Africa over the past year?
So yeah, you know, if I can just say, it's been a little bit challenging. Taking into consideration we lost a huge leader. That's with the
Mhm.
South African Hindu Mahasabha, Mr. Trikamji, you know. So, we see, but, at the same time, having that major loss, but we've seen a lot of like inclusion of communities coming together, irrespective of what what language you speak, whether you're Tamil speaking or Hindi speaking or Gujarati speaking. We've seen a lot of unity. Even most recently, we were invited to a function, the unveiling of Valiama at Mahatma Gandhi's farm, Indonesia. And it was so amazing to see the inclusion of everybody from not only as Hindus, as Tamil, Telugu, Hindi, Gujarati, but others like Christian and Muslim, just being together, not focused on what language you speak or what religion. It was just something so amazing. But I mean, especially for Hindus, I mean, we were all just together. So I'm saying, I'm basically, I can safely say that we are going in the right direction. Yes, there is a lot of work still to do to grow, to grow our culture, I mean, especially with the youth are just losing the direction in a huge way, and we blame our some of our adults, if I can say so, our leaders, because there's so much of politics in our organizations. It's unbelievable. It's so sad that so many. That's
Mm.
why the youth are just not interested. We take most of our temple organizations, hardly any youth at all. So yeah, we've got pros and cons, but we are going in
Mhm.
the right direction, and we're tackling slowly but surely. We are getting there, as a Hindu community.
All right. It's nice that you were mentioning about the youth because there's actually already a comment question based on that. This is from Reshit and Dear Preyalan, thank you for serving the community. My concern is the youth of today. How would you keep them off the streets and from trouble?
Yeah, that's a tough one, eh? Because life today is everything is about image. It's not like the good old
Mm.
days. Everything is controlled about. I mean, we see some of the parents are going through such hard times. I mean, just not so long ago, someone close to me, they were going through, like, they weren't right, and I asked them what's going on. He says no, the son is giving them such a hard time, because now his friend at school's got the certain cell phone, and he demands and he wants this phone and he wants this phone, and they went and they priced the phone. It's 48,000 rand.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's and yeah, I mean, how do you afford that? If you're just barely making it. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough. The children are going in the wrong directions these days. I mean, if you look at just, and I'm sorry to say it, I'm going to be open about it. I mean, if you just look at the things they're doing to themselves, I mean, the hair, I mean, it's not, guys are not guys anymore. Yeah, from the good way,
Mm.
you go back 20, 25 years ago, I mean, they piercing their noses, they piercing their bow their ears, they
Yeah.
everywhere they've got piercings, and they wearing, it's but yeah, it's we need to talk to our youth. We need to guide them. We need as leaders, in our, whether it's our temple organizations, or we need to take that role, and we need to get the youth and lead them in the right, that there's actually nobody actually leading them in the right direction. And it starts, actually, we can't even say our leaders. It starts from home. It's You need
Mm.
to, from a baby, you need to teach that child what is right and what is wrong, and that's how you keep them off the streets and out of trouble. It all begins at home. We can't even say, okay, it begins, our leaders have failed us, or the temples have failed us. I think it starts at home. If you don't lead them, because I mean, I've seen recently, I attended a school, it was one of my family members, a school function, and it was a primary school, and this mum and daughter actually sharing a vape. This child is like 11 years old, and the mother and the daughter are sharing a vape. So it just tells you what that child is, her future. Oh, she can just smoke openly. Doesn't matter. I can do what I want to at my age. So it starts from, if you teach your child the right way from a baby, discipline, and morals, values, principles. I think you'll end up, irrespective of circumstance, whether you're rich, whether you're poor, doesn't matter. But if you teach them from the onset, I think they'll be fine.
What new initiatives or projects are currently underway to strengthen cultural unity and youth involvement?
So okay, there's one particular project that we're busy with, and I will talk about this project from the broader Hindu community network. We also trying to honor, our people that played major roles in this country. Um, so I'm not sure if you heard of this lady that fought for justice and died fighting. Was her name was Valiama. And so we one of the projects that we taken on, which was done a while ago, but unfortunately a bust was erected in her honor in Indonesia, and unfortunately she was vandalized. The bust was vandalized for a couple of years, and eventually they had to just remove it completely. So we want to take that project on. We want to actually, we in the process, we're actually busy raising funds at the moment to actually do a new bus to her. So there has been one done recently at Gandhi's farm, but we want to be able to do one where more people could view her story and be empowered by her story. And I mean, she was like a teenager. She was actually a teenager when she passed on, and her courage, her courage, and we just want to highlight that. And so we want to do something in her honor soon. So yeah, we're just busy raising funds. And yeah, I think you guys are going to be the first to know that we actually want to. We got another project that we're busy with now. I don't think anybody's done it as yet, but we actually want to erect a bust for Babita Diokaran. You know that she's, I mean, she, up until this very moment, she's trending. She fought so hard and she died fighting for righteousness. She
Yeah.
exposed corruption. So that's one thing we're going to be doing something for her pretty soon. We've actually, the consent just came in from her family recently. They've given us full consent to actually do that in our honor. So we'll be one of the first that will be doing that. So we want to do both. We want to do Valiama, we want to do Babita Diokaran, and we want to honor them. And we want the youth to also be present to see the morals, the values of these individuals, and what they stood for, and
From
learn
your
from them.
okay, okay, okay. From your perspective, what are the biggest challenges communities are facing right now, and how are you responding to them?
So the biggest challenge, and I would say, is jobs. Our people are struggling for work. Um, Also with the elderly, I mean, I just don't understand how families of today's times, they just throw in the elderly away. Your those parents and grandparents brought these children up and they abandoned them. So those are some of the issues we faced with. I mean, a relative of mine actually, she's actually opened up her home to house pensioners that have nowhere to go. And they come from families, they have children. You ask them, are you in contact with your kids? And yes, my children are working, they earn well, but there's no contact, don't bother, there's no time. So I think the elderly, some of the elderly are going through a real hard times. So we're trying to assist where we can with trying to help them. Jobs is a major issue. I mean, year after year, we see our numbers in terms of hamper distribution. It's rising like you cannot believe, and we can't get to everybody. It's so
Mm.
difficult. So jobs, access to internet, having a facility where we need to have something where, okay, I can go and print my CV, I can update my CV. People, some of these youth, some homes don't have computers. I know that as a fact. they don't have computers, they don't have access to internet, they don't have money for data. There's no place that you can actually go and say, okay, no, I can print my documents, I can upload my CV, I can apply for jobs, I have internet, I can search for jobs, I can, so people are struggling. I mean, even there were some people that, for example, access to data, they couldn't register for hampers. They came 2, 3, 4 days, 5 days later, said, sorry, we got the message that you guys were giving out, we couldn't register, is there something available for us? We had no data to actually send a WhatsApp message and register to be a recipient of a hamper. So those are some of the challenges.
We've seen a rise in misinformation around religion and culture online. How do you approach digital awareness and education in the community?
I'm going to be honest. It's
Mhm.
so difficult. It's such a tough one. It's so difficult to actually control the digital space right now.
Mm,
I mean, everybody, from a little child right up until the elderly, all have access to the digital space. And you know what?
mm,
It's you've got so many keyboard warriors out there now, people acting so brave and so strong, you know and yeah, people say some nasty things, people humiliate each other's culture. I won't go into this religion or that religion, but
yeah.
um, controlling it is so difficult. The only thing we can do to control that space of where people are, like, I mean, even recently with Diwali, I mean, people were in uproar with the fireworks. And I mean, once a year we celebrate, it's one day in a year we celebrate, and people were like bringing us to the ground and cursing us. And so trying to control that is difficult, but the only way we can control them is report them. If it's Facebook or whatever platform, report them. That's the way. Instead of fighting and creating a bigger, just block, delete, or and if it's really serious, then I mean, we've got the South African Hindu Mahasabha there that stands for all of us. Take them there, and they've got a legal team and they can handle things like that. But yeah, it's scary out there. I mean, I see so many of it. I've just learned to just block, because if you get involved in everything, you can't just with us, we can't just put our energy everywhere. It's just too much to handle at times. So each person needs to be able to control how they handle the digital space on their own. What they see, what they want to get involved in, or if they see something regarding religion and they brought my religion down, how do we deal with it? Do we just go on and start swearing and fighting? Where does it land up? Does it get resolved? How do we resolve it, in an amicable way? So yeah.
Um, on the financial side, what trends are you noticing with South Africans seeking consulting services in today's economic climate?
So what I can tell you is what's trending right now, particularly in our company, is we're seeing a lot of increases in life cover. And the main reason that people are increasing their life cover is life, and this is the honest truth, life is just so short these days. I mean,
Mm,
we part of our projects that we've been doing for many years is the funeral notifications. We just focus on Gauteng, and if you see that the daily the numbers of people that are just passing on, it's unbelievable. And it's not even the elderly anymore. I mean, just in this week there was like a 11-year-old girl that passed away. uh, just not so long ago, a few weeks ago, a whole family passed away on the road. So you don't know, people are afraid, and they don't want to leave their families um, with nothing or in any financial debt. So increase in life covers, wills and estates, we cannot stress this enough. And okay, we've seen the numbers coming in terms of people wanting to sort their worlds out, especially with the Indian community. It's always oh, you know what, we're creating a bad luck. We don't want to do our will, and it's we're not going to die now. But we've seen that mindset change, and we've seen a lot of our communities coming forward and getting their worlds done. So I get requests almost on a daily basis. I need to sort my world. I need to sort my world. So that's a major thing. But one major thing, and unfortunately, I don't get involved in that space. I just don't feel comfortable. But the crypto space is major, a major trend at the moment.
Mm.
And I shouldn't be speaking about crypto. I mean, I'm not clued up well. I don't want to take crypto on. But what I can tell you is, from an educational point of view, is that people need to know what they're doing. If you join in these platforms, join a platform that's registered with the Financial Services Board. That's for example, like Luna.
Mm.
Uh, those are the type of companies, like these people are going onto media platforms such as X and other platforms and meeting people and to getting scammed into invest in crypto with them and transferring, and they're going to get huge returns, and people are just scamming, especially the elderly. They're just getting scammed. I mean, somebody close to me, my neighbor, actually lost 250,000 rand in a space of 7 months. And she
Oh,
believed that, yes, I was talking to Elon Musk himself. I mean, I don't even think Elon Musk himself is actually on X. I don't think he has the time to be sitting on social media. But I mean, she believed it, and Elon Musk asking her for 10, 15,000 a time. I mean, come on, we need to be realistic at times. So please
yeah,
don't fall into all these steps. Hold on to your money. You can do better things with your money. If it's sounds too good to be true, just run away
yeah,
from it. So yeah.
yeah. All right. Financial stress comes to affect families. What practical habits can people adopt immediately to gain control?
Tough one, right? Very, very tough one. But financial stress just, it's unbearable. I myself, I've been through it myself, and we just need to, sometimes certain things are out of our. We need to realize that certain things are out of our control. We can't control everything. We're going through a phase. You just need to put pen to paper, and you need to find solutions in how you manage it and how to sort things out. There's always a way out. you know Fighting with each other, uh, sometimes in some cases it leads to domestic violence because of financial stress in the home. We just need to just take a just before you even talk, am I saying the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? Just take a deep breath, just calm yourself, take a walk, find yourself. You can find, there's always a solution to resolving financial stress. I know in some people, it's some homes it's really difficult. They don't even know where the next loaf of bread is coming from, but there's always a way out. So don't we need to just talk about it. You need to cry about it, but don't get into a violent mode and start abusing your families and things like that. So yeah, it's talking is the biggest thing. I think people, we need to talk out and seek help. And people, like, I mean, I myself, people come to me all the time, find solutions, help. I don't even charge them. I believe that's part of my service. I try and help wherever I can.
How do you personally balance the emotional demands of community leadership with the pressures of entrepreneurship?
uh, to be honest, I'm not balancing it at all at the moment. Purely because I've taken on this role, and I'm trying my best to maintain both roles. There's times where I actually have to, while I'm at work, actually step out of my office and actually attend to matters of the NPO. It's really tough, actually balancing both of them, because my work does fall back a little bit. But I've chosen this path, and I'll never give it up. And it's my path. I love it, and I love serving people and animals, so I will continue. But yeah, balancing it's really difficult, especially when you have minimal funds to actually do the work that we do, helping the animals and helping people have food on their table or have a roof over their head. It's challenging, demanding. Like you cannot believe. Sometimes we get into demanding situations. I mean, uh, like last week we had a dog that the owner got ill and took a bad turn, and this dog was, so used to the owner and was really spoiled, and they were gonna put the dog down or either turn the dog to the SPCA. And dogs also have feelings, and I managed to get
Mm,
the dog rehomed in a beautiful home. A family member of mine actually took that dog. So it was demanding. It had to be done at that moment. We had to do it immediately. So sometimes I have to step out of my working environment and attend to an emergency. I mean, even yesterday we got called. Hey, you know what? We've got meals and we want you guys to distribute it. The meals will be ready in an hour. I was at work. So I had to leave. I left work, went, arranged the vehicle, picked up the food, went to the old age, delivered the food, made sure everyone. Because I don't just take stuff, go and leave it and say, "I you sort it out," and I walk away. I go door
mm,
to door. It takes me an hour and a half, 2 hours. I go door to door, make sure because some people can't walk, some people are bedridden. So I make sure that that food goes to each house, and I feel happy, and I know the donors would also feel happy that it was done properly. So yeah, it's very challenging, but I've chosen the path, and yeah, it's I'm managing, but yeah, it's tough.
yeah. Have your leadership qualities shifted recently based on community feedback or changing social landscape?
So it actually has become more demanding, like I just mentioned recently. We've grown in momentum quite a bit. So yes, it's come with a lot of responsibilities. We actually been tasked with so much of projects that people are bringing to our door, that we are able to handle, and we do a pretty good job. So it's our leader. I wouldn't say my leadership. I would say our leadership within the NPO. It's just we've taken on a much more bigger role, and but we're proud of that. I mean, people are putting a lot of faith in us. They've seen the work we do, how we do it, our structure, and we're proud of that. But yeah, it's a lot of responsibilities. But yeah, it's a big role to play, big shoe to fit. But we manage.
All right. My final question to you is looking ahead, what goals excite you most, both for the NPO and for one for all financial consultants?
Okay, so from the NPO side, one thing that I'm excited about, can't wait. It's already in the process. Is like I told you earlier on, the two bus memorial bus that we're going to be doing for the late Valiama, a hero in South Africa. And for those that don't know, please go and Google her. And yeah, we can't wait to do that to honor her. And most importantly, Babita Joka, I think it's really, really, it's going to be something really amazing. So we're excited, super excited about that, and at the same time, we'll be also serving the community. We'll invite the community open invitation to come and partake in a meal. We'll talk a little bit about both ladies that have really, shaped this country, and yeah, and stood up for what's right. So yeah, that's one thing in the NPO. We actually looking forward to that. There is a few other projects that's on in the pipeline. With Christmas coming up as well, we'll be doing another hamper drive, and yeah, so that's one. But from one for all side, what I'm really really excited about is we're going to be well, we're already into the whole digital space now. We're going into app development. So within the next month or two, we're going to be launching our own app. It's also got to do with helping people. So we've seen a lot of people, the first thing when they're going through financial stress, they cancel their car and home insurance, And it is so ironic that when you're on the road, you end up getting stuck on the road. And in South Africa today, you can't afford to get stuck on the road anyway, because you end
Mm.
up getting robbed, or worst case scenario, you end up dying. So we've developed this app. There's other apps like it, but we're a little bit different. So we've developed an app that it's an emergency app. So at any time that you're in trouble, like you have a safety threat, you press the panic, like the Uber platform, help will come to you almost immediately. And wherever you are in South Africa. So whatever safety threat, whether somebody's in your home, somebody's in your yard, somebody's following you, whatever it is, you press the panic, help will come to you. If you or your family are having any medical issues, you need an ambulance, you'll be covered for a private ambulance anywhere in South Africa. So that's one good option we're adding onto that platform as well. And the one that really catches my attention is the roadside assist. So especially for those that can't afford home and car insurance. So, for example, if you get stuck wherever you are and you get stuck on the road, and now if you don't have any insurance, how do you get your car towed? How do you move it away from that road and away from safety? I mean, to safety. So you press the panic, and again, help comes to you. We can they have a security guard there from the emergency side, and from the roadside we can tow your vehicle, and whether it's going back home or to a dealership or a place of safety, and you at least you'll be safe. So that's the app that we're launching, hopefully in a month from now, from today. Can't wait for that. Also, a lot of my time and lots of my time is going into that. And yeah, it's just something totally different. I mean, for 16 years we've been focused on the financial side. So now we're getting a little bit into the app development. So yeah, it's exciting. And maybe in our next conversation, we'll talk a little bit about that and see where we are with that.
Sure. Yeah, I look forward to that. And as usual, thanks so much for your time and have a great rest of your year.
Thank you to you and to the listeners as well. Thank you so much, and I really appreciate being on your program. Really appreciate it, and I wish you all the
Oh,
best in your listeners as well. And be
likewise.
safe. Be
Mhm.
safe to all of you as well. Just be safe. Festive season's around the corner. Just be safe and have an awesome one.
Thanks.